Everyone bangs on about being an entrepreneur and starting a business from scratch. Forget that. In this exact video, I'm going to show you exactly how to legally steal a 7-figure info biz in less than 30 days. And I don't mean pirating someone's course, I mean copying their proven model, rebuilding it lean, and running it like an operator. And this works whether you've already got clients, or you're starting cold, or even doing it for yourself. And I'll show you exactly where most people mess up and why operators scale lean, while everyone else recycles grind into grind. If you're already making some money, but stuck in manual grind doing work consistently, this is going to show you how to turn what works in the market into a lean back end that prints. And if you're a beginner, no clue, no clients, stick around as well, because this video is going to show you exactly how to model and rebuild a business that's already validated so you can get moving and make some money. So step one, you need to pick the offer that you're going to steal, because we need to get this shit straight before we even start. For the next 30 days, your mission, your goal is simple and pretty brutal as well. It's validate the model, collect 20 to 30k cash, and get one solid case study that you can wave around and leverage. And in this video, I'm going to be using trading as an example niche, but the same playbooks work exactly for fitness, e-com, real estate, business coaching, literally whatever. The offer style is tight, education plus community plus live calls, no signals, no bullshit, no dodgy guarantees, and we're using strict compliance, right? The scope here is MVP only, minimum viable product. We clone the business model, not their content. We move fast, validate cash first, and then we polish it later. We make it look all fancy later on. Right now, the focus is the actual business, the offer, and the scale. So, to start off with, we need to shortlist the targets. The best way to do this is using whop and school. Search the leaderboards to find niches and offers that are absolutely killing it at the top, or choose your niche that you want to do, personally, and search specifically within that for offers you can steal. So you're going to look at the leaderboards and find what's kind of working well on these platforms. You can use different platforms as well, but these are kind of the big ones at the moment. Now, here's some examples of some of the things we've broken down. We've got TGR, Brett, Champs Only, Wes Watson, Hank FX, tons of different options here that we found across whop and school that have different hooks, pricing tiers, guarantees, that we've broken down everything about them. Now, once you've broken it down and found a few examples that you'd be happy to work with, you need to pick one offer that meets consistent uploads and a clear CTA, clean delivery container, whether it's on Discord, School, Telegram, or whop. This actually should be School. And an offer you can recreate fast without crazy expertise. Now, the next thing we need to do is outreach, because yes, you can do it faceless, you can do whatever, but realistically, to move fast, make money up front, we're going to do outreach. We're going to find a client who can become the face of this offer and actually help us run it up. You don't beg for clients. We're going to be showing proof and examples and basically be saying, you can do the same, I'll run it. I'll basically run the business, you just become the face and you'll get paid. Use Instagram or YouTube or even X to find creators and coaches who should be printing but aren't, and then pitch them the shortcut. Look for creators and coaches who get views and have good engagement but have any sort of funnel gaps, right? So here's some criteria and examples about what makes them a target. And there is much more than this, beware, but I just wanted to list a few examples down. They've got visible traffic, but poor capture, so they're not actually turning that traffic into leads and capturing emails, phone numbers, and things. They've got a small email list or no email list at all. They've got a messy onboarding process. They've got no clear delivery container, weak price framing, or even they've just got no high ticket offer whatsoever. Now, there can be a lot more, but there's a few examples. Now, how are we actually going to pitch them and work with them? We're basically going to approach them with something like this. I've broken down or I've replicated X person's launch, right? So you're going to pick one of these names from up here, like we said, and then come to this person and say, I've broken down or I've replicated TGR's launch or whoever, and then show them proof. I'll run a catalyst launch for you within 30 days, validate the offer, get cash coming in, and we split revenue. Obviously, it's important to mention here, we're not trying to sell the deliverables, we're trying to sell the offer. So instead of saying this, you need to much more focus on the result of the offer, but I don't want to give too much examples here. But at the end of the day, right, in the next 30 days, we're going to run a launch for you and bring in 20 to 30k cash, right? That's the kind of goal. So that's what you need to be telling them. And you can also give them a breakdown like this. Now, this is just from a video, so it's nothing crazy. I don't want to bait out anything here, but you can pretty much break it down for them like this. Say, for example, you chose TGR. You can break down TGR's business in a format like this, explaining exactly what he does, the whole sales process, how he does it, and then show this to anybody you're reaching out to and say, we can replicate this for you, right? Now, why does this work? You're not pitching some BS theory, like some random video editor with 5 followers in your Instagram DMs. You're pitching an actual copyable model that already delivered cash, that reduces risk and opens doors. And you're also showing your expertise, because if you actually go through this and break it down fully and explain that you know why things are happening. For example, this link is on the Instagram because it does X, Y, and Z. We take them to 2 separate pages because these prospects are more nurtured than these ones, things like that. That's going to help people trust you way more, even without direct proof. And that's kind of what we call case study arbitrage, right? You will funnel hack these creators and coaches properly later. Map the headlines, capture points and delivery. For outreach, you only really need to show you have a deep understanding for their funnel and have a ready-to-run plan. Keep deeper funnel ripping for the next section. Now, a few quick objections and counters as well I wanted to mention are these. I'm already busy, I've got too much work, I'm already trading, I'm already doing real estate, I'm already whatever. Great, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing content, keep literally pushing whatever the business is you're doing. I actually want you to do that. But don't worry, I'm going to run the whole offer, I'm going to run the whole back end. There's going to be no extra work from you, and then we just split revenue. I don't want to share revenue. Cool. You keep 100% of the $3K per month you're making right now, or take 70% of the $37,430, which is going to leave you $26,201. But I hear you. Maybe that's too confusing for you. Stick with your 95 salary, little bro. Obviously, I'm taking kind of the mick here, but at the end of the day, this is kind of the vibe you want to go with. And you can give them some sort of build and release thing or whatever if you need to. Give them a hefty setup fee and retainers. But at the end of the day, we want to always aim for kind of a rev share or a profit share, because that's where you can really get paid for our work. It's going to make you want to work harder and make you get paid for that, right? Sounds too risky? You don't risk time building an unvalidated offer. We run a short sprint, collect cash, and proof. And obviously, if you're not taking a setup fee and stuff as well, it's a lot easier to get around these objections, because it doesn't matter if it's risky, because there's no risk to them. They're not paying you anything up front. You're only getting paid when you make them money. So why would you waste your time working with them if it's not going to make money, right? So yeah, but once we get all around all of this, we've got them on board, they're ready to do it, they're ready to take that risk and work with you. The next step is rip the funnel. Go to the original person you found that you broke down and found in your list. So for example, for us, it's TJR. You're going to go in this part and you're going to rip the complete funnel. Screen record everything. I use Arc, so I'll actually screen grab the full page. But yeah, screen record everything, steal everything. So the landing page in VSL, grab the headline, the CTA, the guarantee language. So using TJR as an example, like I said, the first page you go to is just a landing page with headlines like learn how Josh cracked the code on trading, learn the $2.3 million trading strategies that 99% of traders don't use, and this system will create the next wave of profitable traders in 2025. He then has a call to action, which takes you to his VSL and Typeform to apply. And on this page, he has student wins, testimonials, and case studies. Now after that, on the application page, he's throwing in the classic spaces are limited line to create urgency, scarcity, and push people to the buy now. The actual application Typeform is asking very, very specific questions. Pay attention to all of these because it gives you a clear idea of the questions you should be asking your own ICP when you build an offer. It's going to help you pretty much do most, if not almost all, of your market research without even actually speaking to your client yet. He's also using the form to grab extra details like phone numbers, so his setters and dialers can get prospects booked onto calls if they don't book directly themselves. This is the best time to pull as much info as possible because you're literally seeing how their offer flows in real time. Now, I need you to get an email list as well. And if you really want to study it, hop on a call with the setter, the dialer, and maybe even the closer too. And I apologize for all these guys that are going to get people funnel hacking them and booking calls. But that's how you see exactly how they handle objections, how they push people onto calls, what their nurture sequence looks like, and the tone they use on the call. Now, you've broke it all down, you understand everything. But what is the actual delivery map going to look like? How are you going to deliver this? What sort of coach or creator access are people getting? You need to map everything out. Is it full one-to-one with a coach? Is it a personal phone number, WhatsApp that they can call them, text them? Or maybe it's just group calls, maybe it's just course access. What are they getting? Access defines perceived value and justifies pricing. So the closer the access, the higher the ticket. Then we want to take a look at the onboarding flow as well. Track the full onboarding process back to front. Contract, payment, forms, welcome email, and training access. Professional offers onboard clients in under 48 hours. Weak ones leave people waiting weeks. The flow shows how mature the operation really is and what we should be taking from it. And here's an exact process that we use to onboard all of our clients within the first 24 hours. And you can literally see this full thing panned out. And that's kind of what we're looking for here. Now, we also want to check what kind of resources, what SOPs, what training are they providing? Is it organized SOPs, workbooks and frameworks, or kind of random looms in a folder, in a Discord channel? Quality resources increase retention and reduce support load. Poor ones cause confusion and cause churn. So we really want to be kind of framing our offer around an offer that knows what they're doing, right? They're doing it properly and they've been doing it for a while. It's tried and tested. Okay. We've mapped everything out from the VSL, the landing page. We've looked at the actual delivery map and how they're delivering the product. But now how do we actually promote it, right? Because we've got the guy with the followers that we're going to be working with. We've got the face of the brand, if you like, but we still need to help them push it. So the best way to do that is to look for content outliers. So you need to go in and save at least 10 titles and thumbnails from that creator or coach that you've been funnel hacking. Plus, also find other creators and coaches in your niche that are also pulling kind of above average views. These are the outliers, the ones the algorithm already proven will absolutely bang. Instead of guessing what content to make, you build your launch around what's already working. And this is where tools like vidIQ, SimilarTube come in. Install it, go to their YouTube channel, and you'll see outlier scores under each video. If a video is doing 3x, 5x, or even 10x better than their usual stuff, that's your signal that these videos are going to bang for you as well. Now, you can literally see some examples of this on TGR's channel that we've picked out. So then what we wanted to do is save those titles and thumbnails because they're the raw material for your own Catalyst launch. You're not copying the video word for word, obviously, but you're modeling the packaging, the headline, the framing, the thumbnail concept, and plugging it all into your system. And that's how you shortcut straight to content that converts instead of wasting months just testing blind. And these are literally some of the videos that we picked out. Now, moving on from that, we've got all the intel, we've got all the market research, we're ready to go. We need to actually now build our offer based on all this intel we've got. So step 1 was all about ripping the funnel and pulling out the intel. Step 2 is where we actually turn that into something you can really sell and make cash from. And this is where most people choke. They either copy their competitor word for word or sit in Notion for 3 months designing an offer that never actually launches. We're not doing that. We're going to take the insights, strip them down, and rebuild a lean MVP offer that's live in literally less than 7 days. Mechanism, delivery stack, messaging, pricing, guarantee, all nailed so you can validate fast and stop wasting time. Okay. We need to actually take that intel and then define our core differentiator. Because firstly, we're going to list all the pain points that our ICP may be facing and the pain point that other coaches in the niche have pointed out as well. And once we've done that, we're going to map out a fix to every single pain point. So sticking to trading as an example with TJR, we've got inconsistent traders. We then introduce weekly check-ins from the CSM to keep them accountable. We've got people overtrading. Implement rules to help them improve their mentality to reduce overtrading. No journal. Give them free resources, example, obviously our trading journal, and have them actually, track them and help them use it. Blowing accounts, weekly check-ins, one-to-one calls and access, and ultimately just trading and support. Then we'll add a 1-line mechanism statement, right? Dream outcome, perceived likelihood of achievement over time delay, effort and sacrifice equals value. I'm sure you've all seen it, Hormozy's value statement equation. We install a rules-based trading system with weekly reviews and a daily execution rhythm, so you stop guessing and start compounding. And then we'll add some proof hooks. Before and after journal screenshots, win rate changes, winning trade screenshots, and testimonials and case studies, obviously, if possible. Here's some of our results just to give you an example, but obviously this isn't for a trading program. Now, why don't you ask yourself 2 questions? Can a client repeat it back and remember your offer? And can a setter explain it in 15 seconds? If they're on a quick call with somebody, can they explain the offer? Is it very simple where someone can capture it in literally 1 or 2 sentences? And if that's all good, the answer is yes. If not, by the way, go back in circles, recycle until you get that perfect. And as soon as you have, we can move on to actually building the MVP delivery stack. And this is where most people do end up getting exposed because they sell bullshit. They sell a dream, then dump clients into a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group chat with no structure. If you want to look like you know what you're doing, your delivery stack needs to be tight from day 1. So the goal here is simple. As soon as someone buys, they need to be inside, set up, and getting value, like I said previously, in under 24 hours. And that means having the container, the call cadence, the onboarding flow, and the starter curriculum ready to go. Functional, not fancy. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just keep it raw. So new guys and girls join in, feel momentum straight away instead of just waiting around. So I want you to keep it clean. Whether it's whop or Discord, it doesn't matter. Just make sure it's not 20 channels of just complete chaos. So even if we just introduce, right, 1 weekly live call, a group call with a Q&A plus a hot seat, a bit of sauce, whatever. And then we also have all the calls recorded and uploaded to some sort of like hub call recordings within 12 hours. So then we go from live call to a Q&A to a call recorded to call posted. We've got a whole system. For the onboarding, we've automated this part personally. So this gets triggered as soon as the closer has done his part. Form and contract takes it straight into the CRM, which sends out a welcome pack in an email sequence, which creates a Discord invite. And if we have a one-to-one support channels like this, it's also going to create that channel and send a message in there as well, all automated using our systems mixed with NAM. Now, we've got everything set up, we've mapped out the delivery. We need to actually craft messaging and assets, because even if your offer's super solid, if your messaging's weak, you're just noise, it's not going to work out. So this section below is about taking the pains you ripped from the competition and framing your mechanism as the fix. And no, you don't need 20 pages of copy, you just need sharp headlines, a simple VSL, and a 3-email sequence, assets that move people to apply, not complete fluff. So let's start with headlines, because your headlines are the only thing that make people stop scrolling or stay on a page. And these headlines need to portray 4 main things: results, constraint, mechanism, and curiosity. Become a rules-based trader in 90 days, no signals, just the whatever method, right? And the result of that is rules-based trader, the constraint is 90 days, mechanism is X, and curiosity is no signals. Stop overtrading in 14 days, install rules, review, and rhythm. Again, stop overtrading in 14 days, the mechanism is X, again, install the system, and that's going to help you get fixed. We've got here, journal, review, and edge, the 90-day operating system for traders, same exact thing. Okay, now moving into the VSL. Your VSL isn't meant to be some documentary or crazy cinematic video. It's a structured pitch that moves someone from cold to interested to applying and hopefully buying. Keep it simple, stick to this kind of skeleton, right? Step 1, strategic market scan. Step 2, angle and outcome planning. Step 3, script engineering, hands-on production plan, optimize deployment, and feedback and optimization loop. That's kind of our process to actually helping people set up and create VSLs. But then when it actually comes to the VSL, here's kind of a basic example of what it needs to look like. A hook, a belief shift into the value, into a new opportunity, and then, into the problem, into the new opportunity. And that's kind of how your perfect VSL will look. You can go more in depth with that, but that's more of a broad overview. And I'm sure if you start with that, it'll work. And then you can actually map out the hook, the mechanism, the proof, offer, guarantee, and CTA as well. And like I said, the hook starts with a bold claim and it flips the main objection. The mechanism shows the R3 framework, the rules, review, and rhythm. In the proof, it's flashing journals, screenshots, and call attendance, the wins channel. In the offer, we're actually stating and showing what's inside. Guarantee, we have the action guarantee. And obviously the CTA is actually applying below as well. Lastly, but definitely not least, we have emails. Most people blow email and just completely fuck it up by turning it into a spammy sales pitch from day one. And that's why their open rates tank and nobody trusts them whatsoever. We flip it completely. The first 5 days is just pure sauce, pure value. Frameworks, templates, story, psychology, 0 CTAs. That builds trust and positions you as the operator who actually knows their shit. And then once they've had value rammed down their throat for nearly a week, days 6 and 7, we actually pitch them and make those sales, get that cash. Because by that point, they've seen the receipts, they've used the tools, and the CTA doesn't feel like a push. It just feels like the natural next step, and they're probably waiting for it anyway. So as you can see, we literally have perfect examples here from my literal email sequences. But here's some random examples as well. Day 1, your rules pack is inside. The subject is stop guessing, here's your rules template, which is more of like a lead magnet. And then you've got an email about a checklist. Again, just more pure sauce. Going over one habit that every profitable trader keeps. The number one reason traders sabotage themselves. Signals are crack, systems build wealth. Want help installing the system in 90 days. And then obviously in the hard CTA as well, we have last chance, mentorship, spots are closing. So that's kind of an example of how one would look from a basic level. Now, what would you actually charge for this? It's all good setting it all up, but what are we actually going to make people pay? The offer, 5K mentorship. Includes foundation, advanced course, weekly live calls, one-to-one access, community access, personal journal reviews. And the guarantee, action-based, not profit-based. Complete the modules, attend 8 live calls in 90 days, submit 8 journals and 8 weekly reviews, and if not satisfied, we work one-to-one with you until the system is installed. So yeah, pretty much we'll keep working with you until you reach whatever your goal is, right? And that's kind of one example of how it would lay out and how the pricing would be. Your MVP delivery stack should be live within 7 days. Container, onboarding flow, foundations, and a working delivery system. Skip bullshit bloated modules and endless preparation. Ship fast, validate with real clients, and refine later. With the skeleton built, just move to step 3, actually scaling. And this is where automation, evergreen funnels, and revenue systems turn your offer into a machine. And obviously when it does come to the offer, the pricing and everything along those lines, you need to remember what we're doing. We're framing it around someone else's offer. So go see what they're charging. You can maybe even undercut them a little bit, even though I wouldn't really recommend fighting about pricing. But yeah, frame it around what they're doing, and then based on your fulfillment, your deliverables in comparison to theirs, and see what you can charge without overpricing or underpricing yourself. Now, step 3, like I said, is scaling your offer. The goal of scaling your offer, number 1, we need to automate acquisition, because that's going to be a massive part when you're actually running a coaching offer. So you can't scale if you're still replying on DMs and hoping someone replies, trying to set everybody left, right, and center. You need to build an engine that runs 24/7. Your acquisition should work while you sleep, fill in the calendar daily without you grinding out, wasting time. So you've got outbound. We have AI reps hitting IG, WhatsApp, SMS, and email all day. The scripts can be based on the pain points you're targeting for your offer and the emails and scripts you gathered in the first step. And obviously you can just kind of create frameworks and have the AI customize this. These AI reps never get tired and never ask for commission, so they can be quite a crucial part when you're scaling any sort of offer that you're working on without kind of investing too much and hiring too many team members. And this is just one example of a flow that we have for Instagram. Now, for inbound, you can use something simple. You can go ahead and use something advanced like N8N, but at the end of the day, you can just use GHL, use ManyChat, or any sort of auto DM triggers on IG. Anyone who comments, replies to a story, or opts in gets tagged and pushed into a nurture. I assume the majority of you already know how to set these inbound automations up, but again, go back to step 1 and see what they're doing. Go through their automations, the people that you're kind of copying off, and change them based on your offer. And obviously we've got an example here from TGR for a CTA, and again, a very similar one from Charlie Morgan as well. And lastly, we've got a data feedback loop, because we need to be pulling stats weekly from ads and organic content from all these people in our space, see what headlines, hooks, and CTAs worked for our main competitor that we're copying off, but also anybody else in the space as well. Feed that all back into the SDR scripts and frameworks that we're using. This one is an absolute must. Without doing this, you're practically pissing in the wind. Just like earlier, use vidIQ along with YouTube Analytics and SimilarTube to see what's performing and what's not performing with your organic content, plus obviously what's performing and not performing for all the competition and the main competitor that we've spoken about throughout this video as well. This can all be automated with N8N to pull through all the data into a Notion dash. I'll literally just went and grabbed these screenshots to add halfway through the recording, just so you know I'm not bullshitting, you can kind of understand what I mean. But this is kind of what you'd be looking at with an Instagram research system and a YouTube research system to, one, analyze your own content or your client's content and how it's all going, analyze everything, give you optimizations and feedback. But as well as that, looking at outliers and, analyzing the competition as well. Like you see here, setting up your competitor list and all these different systems. But anyway, once that's done, we move into the evergreen flywheel. Because launches prove the offer, but you can't just live off, revenue roller coasters, living off launches. You need daily calls coming in, whether you're posting or not. And that's what the evergreen flywheel does. One system that never switches off. So, what have we got here? We've got content like this from TJR. Then we've got a free training. And again, you've got another example here from Cardinal Mason. All this gets pushed into an application funnel. We then have a setter, and then we have a closer. And then once they're on board, we have an automated delivery system, all fulfilled by our N8N setup. You can't scale if everyone's doing everything. That's why you split the roles. Setters warm up and qualify applications. Closers only spend time pitching qualified leads. No more wasting energy on tire kickers. It keeps the sales team sharp and focused on just straight up closing. The target here is simple. 1 to 3 booked calls every single day, coming purely from your evergreen funnel traffic, not random DMs, not ads, not luck. And once that's all sorted and you're hitting the KPIs, everything's good to go, you can move on and begin revenue events. Because evergreen is the baseline, but spikes are where you print at the end of the day. Revenue events give urgency and cash injection without building a new offer every time and doing some crazy launches, hoping for the best. So we can do even quarterly promos, because at least, at the minimum, quarterly, you should be running some kind of promo to inject cash without rebuilding the whole offer. This could be a new cohort launch, a bonus module, a bundle, or even a push for pay-in-fulls. The offer doesn't change, you're just creating an event around it and a whole kind of big idea. And this can be every month, quarterly, it could be every week, every second week, it just kind of depends. Then you're going to introduce scarcity and urgency, because scarcity is the lever. Say doors close Sunday or first 10 get the bonus module. I would actually mix both of these together. People delay decisions until they feel the pressure, and scarcity forces them to act now instead of just thinking about it. And urgency is just as key. Set hard deadlines and make them feel real. If you say it closes Sunday, it closes Sunday. If it's for the first 10, don't let the 11th sneak in. Fake scarcity kills trust 100%. I've had clients stack a steady evergreen funnel with just one of these revenue events and clear 6 figures in a single month easily. That's the power of combining a baseline with spikes. The system pays the bills, the events print all of the extra cash. So to give you a quick recap, step 1 is rip the funnel, right? Steal the intel, map the pain chain, build your blueprint. Step 2 is ship the MVP, delivery stack, messaging, 5K mentorship, or whatever price point you want to hit, live in 7 days. Step 3 is scaling with systems, acquisition automated, delivery streamlined, evergreen and revenue events printing daily. Talk is cheap, systems print, or they don't. And here's some random receipts as well that I wanted to add, just for a bit of social proof here so you know I'm not capping and talking bullshit. If you are serious about scaling and wanting to install all the systems I've spoke about here today, I work directly one-on-one with a handful of people. We build the backend, the systems, and scale it together. If you're not there yet, all good. Start with the free training and the free community. That's the entry point for most people. You'll get the basics and start moving, but there's also tons of value in there, if I'm honest. If you're a creator, coach, consultant yourself, busy making content and delivering on coaching calls, we'll run the backend for you, help you set up the whole infrastructure, the sales team, we'll install everything so it runs on autopilot like we spoke about today. You focus on noise and we'll handle all the ops. All the links are below for everybody in these different situations. Find the best one that kind of fits your situation. Click it, take a look at everything, and let me know how it goes. But yeah, that's been all for now, boys. I'll catch you all later. Peace the fuck out.